The Companies Act 1956, Section 31, Alteration of Articles by Special Resolution. Articles of Association may be altered. How can we alter the Articles of Association? The provisions of Section 31 will enable us to understand. You may recollect Section 16 provided provisions how to alter Memorandum of Association. There are some similarities between the alteration of Memorandum of Association and Section 31 alteration of articles by special resolution. Here, subsection 1 of Section 31 says, subject to the provisions of this Act, a company may, by special resolution, alter its articles. So, subject to the provisions of this Act, a company may alter its articles. Here, two conditions are there. One, it requires special resolution, and subject to the conditions contained in its memorandum. So when we are going to alter articles of association, we need a special resolution, and the alterations shall be subject to the conditions contained in its memorandum and also subject to the provisions of this Act. This is how we can alter articles of association, provided that no alteration made in the articles under this subsection which has the effect of converting public company into a private company shall have effect unless such alteration has been approved by the central government. So this proviso to subsection 1 of section 31 says we can alter the articles of association, but alteration like converting a public company into a private company needs approval by the central government. So other alterations to the articles of association we can do by special resolution, subject to the conditions contained in its memorandum and subject to the provisions of this Act. Again, from subsection 1 of section 31, we can understand that we can alter the articles of association. How can we alter? Subject to what? We can alter the articles of association subject to the provisions of this Act, subject to the conditions contained in its memorandum, and it also requires a special resolution. So there is a proviso to subsection 1 of section 31. We were telling that we can alter the articles of association, but there is some proviso where it says altering the articles of association to the effect of converting a public company into a private company requires approval by the central government. Shall we read it as it is? Subsection 1 of section 31. Subject to the provisions of this Act, a company may alter its articles, or subject to the provisions of this subject to the provisions or subject to the conditions contained in its memorandum, a company may alter its articles, but in both cases by special resolution it can alter. It requires special resolution, provided that no alteration made in the articles under this subsection which has the effect of converting a public company into a private company shall have effect unless such alteration has been approved by the central government. So, as we were discussing, as we were explaining ourselves, it is clear in the words of subsection 1 of section 31. Let us go to subsection 2 of section 31. Any alteration so made, as we were understanding in subsection 1 of section 31, any alteration so made shall be as valid as if originally contained in articles and be subject in like manner to alteration by special resolution, subject to the provisions of this act. Again, here we can conclude that all alterations, whatever alterations take place to the articles of association, are valid as if originally contained in the articles and be subject in like manner to alteration by special resolution. So let us reread it. Subsection 2 of section 31. Any alteration so made shall, subject to the provisions of this act, be as valid as if originally contained in the articles and be subject in like manner to alteration by special resolution. For our easy understanding, let us read it in this fashion. Any alteration so made shall be as valid as if originally contained in the articles and be subject in like manner to alteration by special resolution, subject to the provisions of this act. Let us go to subsection 2a of section 31, where any alteration such as if referred to in proviso to subsection 1 has been approved by the central government, a printed copy of the articles as altered shall be filed by the company with the registrar within 1 month of the date of receipt of the order of approval. So, from subsection 1 of section 31, we were understanding we can do alteration to the articles of association by special resolution, subject to the provisions of this act and subject to the conditions contained in its memorandum. So we can alter the articles of association. If at all alteration is related to a conversion of a public company into a private company, in such a case, we require approval by the central government. So after getting approval from the central government, we need to get a altered memorandum printed and file this same with the registrar within 1 month of the date of receipt of the order of approval. So on receipt of the approval from the central government, to the extent of alteration of conversion a public company into a private company, we need to file altered memorandum, altered articles of association printed, and that printed copy we need to submit to the registrar within 1 month of the date of receipt of the order of approval. Let us go to subsection 3 of section 31. The power of altering articles under this section shall, in the case of any company formed and registered under the Act number 19 of 1857 and Act number 7 of 1860 or either of them, extend to altering any provisions in table B annexed to the Act number 19 of 1857 and shall also, in the case of an unlimited company formed and registered under said acts or either of them, extend to altering any regulations relating to the amount of capital or its distribution into shares, notwithstanding that those regulations are contained in the memorandum. So this we can try to understand in coming periods. So from section 31 of the Companies Act 1951, we are able to understand from the available provisions how to alter articles of association. Here we require special resolution, and we can alter the articles of association subject to the provisions of this act and subject to the conditions contained in this memorandum. So when alteration is related to a conversion of a public company into a private company, we require approval from the central government. In such a case, after getting approval within a period of 1 month, we need to submit altered articles of association by getting printed to the registrar within a period of 1 month. This is what from section 31 of the Companies Act 1956 we are able to understand how to alter the articles of association. You may recollect it is almost or most of the time provisions are on similar lines to the alteration of memorandum of association section 16